Hi there everybody, this is David, and today we're going to be looking at the top 10 best modern masterpieces. Modern masterpiece RPGs. And what do I mean by that? I'm talking about games that have been released in the last 5 or so years on modern consoles in the 2020s. We're going to be looking at the best of the best here today, and I definitely do think that's worth the sub as you come and you join my party and you level on up with me. Thank you so much for your sub, your like, and your hype. It helps me out a ton. Y'all have no idea how much it helps me. Thank you so much for all of your support. It really does mean the world to me. And now, let's go ahead and get busy going on through these games that will definitely stand the test of time. This video is brought to you by Hollow Mire, a haunting little gem that I do want to put onto your radar. Because if you're into atmospheric, story-rich adventures that feel kind of like The Shining, but with the gameplay of Disco Elysium, then this one here is absolutely one to watch. You play as John Rowe, a World War II veteran turned journalist whose wife and daughter vanished after he came home from the front lines. 7 years later, in 1952, a new assignment drags him out to Brecon House, a creepy, lonely estate buried in England's snowy west country. And the moment that you step inside, the past starts clawing its way back. Memories, trauma, mysteries. This house might as well be the Amityville Horror. But that's not all, because you also switch perspectives. While John is unraveling his own nightmares, there's a detective, Gwen Porter, who's out there investigating a missing patient and a dead orderly, and her path ties directly into John's. Everything is driven by the choices that you make, with the house remembering what you did, and then finally branching off into 8 different endings. This one here is definitely one to keep your eye on, and Hollow Mire's free demo, drops on Steam December the 9th. So do be sure to wishlist it right now using the links below so you don't forget. And be sure to support your indie developers, because this one here does look special. And now, let's get on back to today's video. Number 10. Neurotona, released for the PS4, Xbox, Nintendo Switch, and PC. It actually took me quite some time to really get into and appreciate the series, but I am glad that I stuck with it because it is quite the wild ride. Its blend of fast-paced, exhilarating combat and thought-provoking storylines about humanity and life itself does really set it apart from many other games in the jrpg genre. Then, there's the multiple storylines that keep you coming back for more. And since one single playthrough doesn't take, forever and a day, it's pretty easy to go through it a couple of times to see all that it has to offer. If you do want a game that's both entertaining and deeply meaningful, then look no further. Number 9. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, released on the PlayStation 5. Do not miss out on this one. This is a breathtaking continuation of a legendary story first started all the way back in 1997. Now with some expanded lore, gorgeous graphics, and a combat system that's both nostalgic and innovative, this here offers a perfect blend of heart and action. It's kind of like a nostalgic roller coaster, but with even more epic moments and character drama. The world is huge, the combat's a blast, and it really feels like they're just expanding on everything that we loved with the original. So come and experience these beloved characters like never before, and prepare to be swept away in this narrative while we do wait with bated breath for the final part. Number 8. Xenoblade Chronicles 3, released for the Nintendo Switch. Here we have an unforgettable epic journey on this Switch exclusive. I mean, all the Xenoblade games are massive, but this one here takes the cake, as the adventure is filled with emotional depth, intricate storytelling, and just, that massive, expansive world to explore. The combat takes place in real time, and it's exciting, and the characters are not walking anime tropes. This is a journey that you're going to want to take, and trust me, once you're done, you're also going to want to grab that DLC too, because it just wraps it all up so nicely. Number 7. Chained Echoes, released for the PS4, PS5, Xbox, Nintendo Switch, and PC. This here is the only indie RPG on this list, so the solo creator, Matthias Linda, really should be incredibly proud of the work that he did because he single-handedly created a modern masterpiece. This is like a Final Fantasy III and a Chrono Trigger-inspired classic, but with that modern twist, as it combines nostalgic pixel art with a fresh combat system that encourages strategy without the grind. The story tackles some deep themes, making it more than just kind of like a throwback. So if you're ready to experience a love letter to the genre that feels both familiar as well as innovative, while also supporting that indie scene, then you really can't go wrong with Chained Echoes. Number 6. Yakuza Infinite Wealth and Yakuza Like a Dragon, released for the PS4, PS5, Xbox, and PC. Honestly, both of these are like two sides of the same coin. with infinite wealth just having a little bit more balancing and quality of life upgrades than Like a Dragon. So if you're looking for like Dragon Quest, but set in the real world and, completely off the wall and nonsensical, then I have the pair of games for you. Because there's just too much fun to be had here. You play as Ichiban, an ex-Yakuza, now turned, hobo loser, who kind of meets up and joins up with, other, losers, as they go around Japan and Hawaii, changing into all these weirdo job classes and just beating bitches up in some thrilling fast-paced turn-based combat. These games are a laugh riot, and I cannot put them down. Number 5, Octopath Traveler 2, released for the PS4, PS5, Xbox, Nintendo Switch, and PC. Talk about an upgrade over the first one. Now instead of just telling like 8 standalone stories, each of these stories intertwine with one another, blending the entire adventure together and creating a rich tapestry of storytelling. I actually found myself doing what I did as a kid, that is, pulling on a notebook as I was playing and taking notes on all the different places that I wanted to go back to and check out, but I was too low level for, or the treasures that I couldn't get to or they were locked, and I love that. The turn-based combat was strategic and engaging and challenging, and it made every encounter feel rewarding. So if you appreciate beautifully crafted worlds and intricate narratives, this here will just sweep you off your feet. Number 4, Unicorn Overlord, released for the PS4, PS5, Xbox, and Nintendo Switch. As far as I'm concerned, this one here came out of like left field. Real-time strategy RPGs are kind of niche in and of themselves, but Vanillaware does not miss, and they hit it out of the park with this one. It is a whimsical adventure that's just bursting with charm and an absolute delight to play. With its strategic gameplay, you will be drawn into a world filled with friendship and magic, and it has a lighthearted story that revolves around friendship and adventure, and is complemented by beautiful character designs. Then you have that lightning quick combat that you can kind of like just skip with the start button, which is so nice, and it encourages creative tactics and gambits, allowing you to command a diverse roster of units in these battles. So if you want something that just oozes pure joy and is really simple to get through but a whole lot of fun, then look no further than this. Number 3, Dragon Quest XI S, released for the PS4, Xbox, Nintendo Switch, and PC. It would not be a David Vink list if I didn't gush over Dragon Quest for a hot second, but for real, this one here definitely deserves its spot on the list. This is a classic RPG experience that is both charming and epic, so be sure to check this one out. It has a heartwarming story, lovable characters, gorgeous visuals too. It has nostalgia while offering those modern conveniences. I love the simplistic turn-based combat. I love the different 8 characters that you can use and switch out, the different personalities between all them, and all the stuff that you can explore both in 3D or in an SNES-inspired 2D throwback. It is amazing. Number 2, Star Ocean 2R, released for the PS4, PS5, Nintendo Switch, and PC. Star Ocean the Second Story was my first introduction to this long-running series because, we never did get the first one back on the SNES. I mean, God forbid we got the good RPGs back in the day. Thankfully though, whenever I did play it on the PlayStation, I loved it. And so did just about everybody else, as it's pretty much universally acclaimed to be the best one in the series. So, when the last couple of years Square Enix decided to quit trying to pander to their mythical modern audience that they never can seem to find and just fail at every turn with, they here instead decide to go back to the basics by remaking this fantastic game in HD 2D and adding in a ton of quality of life improvements, great voice acting, graphics, and streamlined combat. This here is the definitive way to play this classic. And number 1, Metaphor Refantasio, released for the PS4, PS5, Xbox, and PC. Could the latest game on this list be the greatest game on this list? As far as I'm concerned, yes! This here blends elements from both Persona and SMT and has these stylish visuals along with a rich narrative and a storyline that I've never seen in a game before. The world is so vibrant and it's filled with such imaginative characters and monsters from all the different tribes and the regions, and then there's that combat system. I love the press turn combat system. It is so strategic and it allows for all these different job and class combinations, kind of like in Final Fantasy V. You just want to keep on fighting. So if you're looking for a JRPG that breaks the mold, then this here is your ticket, because we've never seen anything like it before. So that's it for what I consider to be the top 10 best modern masterpiece RPGs. Now I want to ask you, what games do you consider to be modern masterpieces, and did I miss any? Let me know in the comments and let's all talk and chat about it. And if you like this video, here's another top 10 list that I really do think that you're going to enjoy. So please do be sure to check that one out, and as always, have a good day.